It says, "Im bechukotai telechu," if you walk in my laws. So Rashi says, even though simply chukim means doing the mitzvot, it cannot mean the fulfillment of the mitzvot here. Why not? Because it says, after bechukotai telechu, ve'et mitzvotai tishmeru v'asitem otam. It says, you keep my mitzvot, and you'll do them. So the doing of the mitzvah is said. So what does chukotai mean, people? Can't mean doing mitzvot. First Rashi. You do know it. I'm sure you know it. So what does bechukotai mean here? Can't mean the mitzvot. So Rashi says what it means is shetiu amelim b'Torah. It means studying Torah, but you got to really toil in it. So chukotai means toiling in the Torah. Let's just make it a little bit more geschmack with the explanation of Orachaim HaKadosh. You walk and learn Torah, you study Torah. How come it says bechukotai telechu? If you walk in my Torah, so the Orachaim HaKadosh says famously, yes, by the way, he has, I think, like 42 explanations just on this pasuk. So I think one of the first few, he says the Torah is hinting that when you even walk, you should study Torah. As you guys know, you have to have something. Could you guys please behave a little bit? I was a teacher for 5 years, 8 years, Let's do something that we can concentrate. Please, guys. I only want 5 or 10 minutes of your time. You're awesome. Anyways, so what happens is when we even have free time, you're walking, you should study Torah. That's what says Telechu, walking my mitzvot. But the question that comes, we have 3 types of mitzvot. I'm not talking about between us and God and between us and other people, but the mitzvot that divide into 3 categories. Category number 1 is called mishpatim. And the Rambam says mishpatim are those type of laws that even if the reason wasn't, even if God wouldn't have given it to us, our logic says you should keep it because it's good for the society. Like not stealing, not committing murder, no adultery, not, whatever, trespassing, hurting somebody. All these things are things that even atheists, God forbid, they do keep it. So these are called mishpatim. The reasons are known because they're beneficial for the society. That's what the Rambam says. Then there's other mitzvot, and actually they say even if God wouldn't have given us the Torah, we would have kept it on our own. Then there's another level of mitzvot which is called edut or eduyot. Edut are like testimonials, meaning if God wouldn't give it to us to keep, we wouldn't have kept it. But now that God gives it to us, we understand the reason. For example, keeping Shabbat or eating matzah. If God wouldn't tell me eat matzah on Pesach, I wouldn't eat matzah. But now that He's telling us, understand, it's a remembrance for Exodus from Egypt. Why do I keep Shabbat? Because I don't believe in the Big Bang. That something was a freak accident. We believe there is a God who created the world in 6 days and He rested on the 7th day. Guys, could we have 5 minutes of concentration, please? If you're not interested, walk out and come back. For the pizza, I don't have a problem with that. But if you're here, let's utilize our time. Anyways, it was the second time I was being interrupted. I have my tough side. I just don't like to show it. I promise you. Don't look at this smile. There's a tough side inside me. I was a teacher for 8 years in one of the toughest yeshiva, Chabad. That everybody thinks they're better than you. They know better than you. Whatever. Anyway, just kidding. They're all good. All the students are good. Doesn't matter. Chabad, Ashkenaz, Sephardi. They're all awesome because they're studying Torah. No, they're all good. Anyways, going a little bit further. So these are eduyot. What's chukim? Chukim are mitzvot that we really don't know the reasons. The Rambam says we do not know the reason. Seemingly there is a reason, but God knows. We don't know it. And actually he says that Shlomo HaMelech understood all the chukim except one, the para aduma. For example, purity and impurity. What's the logic? If I touch a dead body, I become impure. We're not talking about diseases. We're talking about spiritual impurity. And if you're going to sprinkle the water and the red heifer, whatever, the ashes, and you go to the mikveh, you become pure, makes sense? Doesn't make sense at all. Another example Rashi brings, shatnez. These are things that we don't know the reason. So let's go through the question. The question that the Mefarshim asked, which mitzvah should have been chosen to tell us study Torah? Mishpatim, eduyot, or chukim? Over here, the Torah uses the word chukim for studying Torah. Does that make sense to you? Chukim we don't understand. When you read Gemara with the Rabbeim, do they expect you to understand it or just say the words like a parrot? They want you to understand. The whole thing of Torah is understanding. So if the Torah would have said mishpatim for Torah, okay, we understand the reason. Even eduyot, you understand the reason. Chukim, you don't understand the word of it. You don't know what the reasons are. So why would the Torah use the word chukim for study of Torah, which has to do with understanding. Is the question clear? Clear question. So here actually we have an answer from Hasidic books. The first of Chabad answers it very beautifully. There's another meaning to chukim. How do you say engraving in Hebrew? It says chuka chakakti. Chakak. Most people are Persians here. Some guys are, the last name Hakakian or Hakaka. Hakak is come from the word chakika in Hebrew. Because really, Arabic and Hebrew have very, very words in common. So Hakakian means somebody that engraves. Like a chokek, someone that engraves. So the word of chukim or bechukotai telechu means engraving. And the message is the Torah is telling us to engrave the words of the Torah. Guys, in public schools, thank God it doesn't happen here. So unfortunately, in public schools, there have a lot of people on drugs. Actually, we had somebody in our own community, Persian community, that he overdosed. And then the friend came to the burial, and he was crying that he missed his friend. They were both into drugs. A few weeks later, the friend also took drugs, and he died after him, even though he was crying by the grave. So we know, for example, something is bad, but I don't care. I do it anyways. So that shows my knowledge and me are two separate things. I know something is bad, but I don't care. I do it. Like the case of the drugs. Now, how am I supposed to study Torah? Should I study it, but me and my Torah are two separate things? I know it's wrong to do something, but I enjoy it. I'm going to do it. Or should I make the Torah actually engraved within me? This is the message that God is telling us. Moshe Rabbeinu is telling us in the Torah that the study of the Torah should be in a way of chakika, engraving. Now, what's so special about engraving, people? Because there's two ways that we write. One is you write a Sefer Torah, ink on a parchment. There are two separate things. You could erase the ink, although they're one, but they're two separate things that became one. When you engrave something, you cannot take the letters off. The moment you want to take the letters off, you have to break the stone itself. That's a true unity. The letters of the Torah, of the tablets, are part of it. That's what God expects us. The Torah that we search for one with us. I'll finish with the last story, guys, and we're going to be eating soon. Sorry, I forgot to bring plates. And please tell your friends next week. Could you make a WhatsApp to know how many people are coming a day before? I don't want to bring 25 kebabs and there's 50 kids here. What? Yeah, but they have to register. Okay. Yeah. So and please save that for next year. Let me just finish one story. I'm here, not you. Don't worry. I'm not going to send it to Biden. Don't. I'm scared he's going to raid your house like he did to Trump. So I'm not going to send it to him. And you could see I'm on the Republican side more than Democrat side. Here we could say, I hope most Jews are Republicans. I'm talking religious Jews. Amen. I don't know. We are really on God's side. We don't care about anything else. But Republicans are really nicer. I don't know. It's really an oxymoron, right? Or maxi, what do you call it? It's a contradiction. Oxymoron. So anyways, guys, let me just tell you the last story. When the previous Lubavitch Rebbe came to America, so he used to send the yeshiva boys to go to people. Remember, in the 40s, America was mostly reform. They were not religious Jews. So he used to send them to people. Thank you, please, guys. Be still for a few minutes. He used to send people to go to business people, students, remind them about Judaism. So they went. His name was Abba Levitin. Shmuel Levitin, very, very big chassid. He goes to a guy in Chicago, and the guy says, "Are you guys here from the previous Rebbe for a donation?" So we're not interested in donations. So why are you here? So they say, "No, we are like a scribe. Scribe checks the Sefer Torah. If some letters are erased, he rewrites it. So the Jews that the letters of the Torah are erased from them, they don't study it, they've forgotten it, we remind them, we rewrite it." So the guy was very impressed, and he gave a donation to the previous Lubavitch Rebbe. When they went back and they gave the report to the previous Rebbe, he said, "You made a mistake. A Jew is not like a Sefer Torah that the letters can get erased. A Jew is like the tablets. You can never erase the Torah from a Jew. But on the tablets, if mud covers it, then you don't see the letters. So you don't have to go rewrite and teach him something new. You just have to clean the mud. And from inside, a Jew wants to keep Torah mitzvah. That's the way it is. That's why you have people really these days, what attracts people is the truth. Because honestly, what they teach them in colleges, the woke stuff, does not interest them. Everybody's looking for the truth. And the only absolute truth is God. and Torah and mitzvot. So when you guys will go to yeshiva, you're going to come back, get your friends to study Torah. Thank you guys.
גדול אתה. גדול, יא עמוק. We're still on the stream, huh?
Let's take one and two. Thanks for taking me.
Wow. I think another book.